Picture this. It's 3:30 a.m. in a dingy Buenos Aires hotel. My heart's pounding as I press the phone receiver down for the umpteenth time, hanging up on the man who ruined our night. He answers groggily, cursing in Spanish, but I don't say a word. Click. And then, when that stops working, I slip out in my pajamas, tiptoe to his door, ring the bell, and bolt like a shadow. Why? Because hours earlier, this so-called tour guide abandoned us at the wrong nightclub, all because one of my best friends has mixed-race skin. He thought he could get away with it, but oh, how wrong he was. Hi, I'm Sophia, and this is the story of how an 18-year-old girl outsmarted a grown man and served him a dish of revenge colder than the Argentine winter. If you've ever been looked down on, dismissed, or flat out discriminated against and dreamed of flipping the script on the person who did it, then you're in the right place. Hit that like button if you're ready for a revenge story that'll make your blood boil and then leave you cheering. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these tales of sweet, satisfying justice. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be fist pumping along with me. Let's dive in. All right, folks, let's rewind the clock to the late 1990s. I was Sophia, just 18 years old, fresh out of high school in Brazil, with that invincible feeling only teenagers have. You know the one, where the world feels like it's yours to conquer and nothing can touch you. My three best friends and I, let's call them Anna, Beatrice, and Carla, we were inseparable. We'd grown up together in Sao Paulo, sharing secrets, crushes, and dreams of adventure. Anna was the planner, always with a map and a checklist. Beatrice was the life of the party, her laughter infectious enough to light up a room. And Carla, well, Carla was the heart of our group. She had this beautiful mixed-race heritage. Her mom was Brazilian, her dad from a family with African roots, and her skin was this warm, golden brown that turned heads for all the right reasons back home. But as we'd soon learn, not everywhere. We were broke, like most 18-year-olds, but we have this burning itch to travel. Brazil in the 90s wasn't exactly a paradise for young folks. The economy was shaky, jobs were scarce, and we wanted to escape, even if just for a week. So, we scraped together every penny from part-time gigs and family handouts to book the cheapest trip possible. A budget tour from Brazil to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Back then, no internet reviews, no TripAdvisor stars to guide us. We had to trust word of mouth and flyers. That's how we ended up with this tour guide from Uruguay. His name was Eduardo, or, as I'd later think of him, the smug jerk who thought he could play God with our vacation. Eduardo was in his late 40s, tall and broad-shouldered, with a mustache that looked like it belonged in an old Western movie. He had this perpetual smirk, like he knew something you didn't, and his eyes, they had this cold, calculating glint. He sold us the trip over the phone bus rides, a basic hotel, guided tours of the city, and nights out at local spots. "It's the deal of a lifetime," he promised in his thick accent. "You'll see the real Buenos Aires." There were about 15 other people in our group, mostly older couples and a few families. All were lured by the low price. We didn't think twice. Why would we? We were young, excited, and naive. The journey started off okay. We piled into a rickety bus at the border, crossing into Uruguay first, then hopping another to Argentina. The landscapes are blurred by endless pampas grasslands, dotted with cattle and the occasional gaucho on horseback. We chatted nonstop, munching on cheap empanadas we'd packed, dreaming about tango dances and steak dinners. But even on the bus, I caught Eduardo giving us side glances, especially at Carla. His lips would curl just a bit, like he was sizing her up. I brushed it off as my imagination. After all, prejudice against Brazilians in Argentina wasn't unheard of back then. Before the big tourist boom, when Brazilian money started flooding their economy, Argentines had a superiority complex. And skin color? Yeah, that was a loud issue. Racism wasn't whispered, it was shouted from rooftops. But we were kids. We didn't know the depth of it. We thought a smile and some broken Spanish would win everyone over. We arrived in Buenos Aires late afternoon. The city was a whirlwind. Grand, European-style buildings mixed with gritty streets, the air thick with the smell of grilled chorizo and car exhaust. Our hotel? Let's just say it made a tent look luxurious. Peeling wallpaper, beds that sagged like hammocks, and a bathroom where the water ran brown for the first 5 minutes. But hey, we were 18. It was an adventure. We dumped our bags, freshened up, and hit the streets for the day tour. Eduardo led us around. La Boca with its colorful houses, the obelisk in the city center, a quick peek at the Casa Rosada. He droned on in monotone Spanish, cracking jokes that only the older folks laughed at. Again, those glances at Carla. Once, when she asked a question about the history, he cut her off mid-sentence with a wave of his hand. "Not important," he muttered, moving on. My stomach twisted a little, but I told myself he was just rude to everyone. Night fell, and that's when Buenos Aires comes alive. Nothing starts before midnight. Clubs, bars, everything pulses with energy till dawn. Eduardo announced we'd all head to a popular nightclub together. "Great music, dancing, you'll love it," he said, handing out tickets to the group. But he held on to ours a bit longer, his fingers brushing mine with that same smirk. "Be on time," he warned. We nodded eagerly, rushed back to our rooms for a quick nap. Excitement buzzed in the air. We changed into our best outfits. I had this red dress that made me feel like a movie star, Anna in jeans and a sparkly top, Beatrice with her wild curls down, and Carla. She looked stunning in a simple black skirt and blouse, her confidence radiating. We met the group at the hotel door around 11 p.m. The streetlights cast long shadows, and the city hummed with distant traffic. Taxis were dirt cheap, so we split up. Our group of 4 crammed into one cab, the others in the rest. Eduardo waved us off, tickets in his pocket. "See you there," he called. Our driver, a grizzled guy with a cigarette dangling from his lips, nodded and peeled out. But something felt off right away. The ride dragged on. We passed familiar landmarks, then veered into unfamiliar territory. The city lights faded, replaced by darker roads, warehouses, and eventually, the glimmer of water. "Where are we going?" I asked in my halting Spanish. The driver shrugged. "The club, señorita." Finally, he dropped us off in front of this isolated spot by the river. Wait, no. It was the Rio de la Plata, not Mar del Plata, like I misremembered, but close enough in the confusion. The club loomed like a fortress, thumping bass echoing across the empty parking lot. It was nice looking, sure. Neon lights, velvet ropes, but miles from civilization. No other taxis in sight. The group? Nowhere. Eduardo? Vanished. We approached the bouncers, 2 burly guys in black suits, arms crossed like statues. "Tickets?" one grunted. We explained. "Our guide has them. He's inside. Can you find him?" They exchanged looks, then shook their heads. No entry without tickets. We begged, pleaded. Please, just check inside. His name's Eduardo, tall guy from Uruguay. Nothing. We even turned to the line of people waiting, well-dressed locals chatting and laughing. Excuse me, could you ask the bouncer to look for our guide? Blank stares, dirty looks, whispers. And that's when it hit me like a punch to the gut. Their eyes weren't on me, or Anna, or Beatrice. They were locked on Carla. Sneers curling their lips, heads shaking in disgust. One woman muttered something under her breath. I caught brasileña and a slur I won't repeat. My blood ran cold. This wasn't about tickets. This was about her skin. The prejudice we'd heard whispers about, it was staring us in the face, barring us from entry. Carla didn't notice at first. She was optimistic, always seeing the best. Maybe it's just crowded. They can't find him, she said, shivering in the night air. But I saw it all. The way the bouncer's postures stiffened when she spoke, the sidelong glares from the line. My hands clenched into fists, nails digging into my palms until they stung. Inside, my mind raced. How dare they? We're just kids on vacation. What gives them the right? Fury bubbled up, hot and bitter, making my chest tight. I wanted to scream, to demand justice right there. But we were alone, in a foreign city. No cell phones back then, just payphones that ate our coins without connecting. Let's go, I finally said, voice shaking. Back to town. We'll find our own fun. The girls nodded, relieved. We flagged another taxi, thank God for cheap fares, and sped back to the city center. We ended up at a small bar, sipping mate and laughing it off. But inside, I was seething. The laughter felt forced. My smiles tight. Every joke cracked like brittle glass. Betrayal gnawed at me. Eduardo had our tickets. He knew the taxis might split. Why didn't he wait? Or was this deliberate? The thought wormed its way in. He dumped us there on purpose. Because of Carla. Because in his twisted mind, we didn't fit with the group. Powerlessness washed over me. We were young, foreign, tiny fish in a big, hostile pond. But underneath that, a spark ignited. Resolve. I wouldn't let this slide. Back at the hotel, the others crashed immediately, exhausted. Not me. I paced our cramped room, the fluorescent light buzzing like angry bees. My skin prickled with anger, heart hammering as if I'd run a marathon. Sleep? Impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those dirty looks, heard the bouncer's grunts. Eduardo's smirk flashed in my mind. That tall, arrogant man thinking he could ruin our night and saunter off scot-free. No. Hell no. I glanced at the phone on the nightstand. It was 3 a.m. A wicked idea bloomed. Why not give him a taste of his own medicine? Disrupt his peace like he disrupted ours. I picked up the receiver, fingers trembling with adrenaline. Dialed his room number. I'd memorized it from the lobby list. Ring, ring. A groggy voice answered. Hola, ¿quién es? Click. I hung up, stifling a giggle that quickly turned into a fierce grin. My pulse raced, a mix of fear and thrill. What if he traces it? But no, old hotel phones didn't work that way. I waited a minute, letting him settle back, maybe curse and roll over, then dial again. "¿Qué carajo?" he barked this time. Click. Again and again. Each hang-up fueled me. This was payback for the abandonment, for the racism he enabled or maybe even orchestrated. After maybe the 10th call, he yanked the phone off the hook. A dial tone buzzed endlessly. Foiled? Not quite. Emboldened, I slipped into the hallway in my pajamas. Thin cotton, bare feet cold on the worn carpet. The hotel was silent, save for the distant hum of traffic. I crept to his door, heart in my throat. Every creak of the floorboards amplified. What if he opens it fast? What if someone sees? But the anger pushed me forward. I pressed the doorbell, a shrill ding that echoed, then bolted to the stairs, hiding in the shadows, peeking through the crack. The door swung open. There he was, Eduardo, disheveled in boxers and a t-shirt, hair wild, eyes bloodshot. "¿Quién está ahí?" he growled, stepping out, looking left and right. Nothing. He slammed the door, muttering profanities. I waited. Counted to 300 in my head, imagining him climbing back into bed, pulling the covers up, eyelids heavy. Then back to the door. Ding! Run, hide. This time, he burst out faster, fists clenched. "Muéstrate, cobarde!" His voice boomed, but the hallway stayed empty. I bit my lip to keep from laughing, the rush intoxicating. This man, nearly 50, towering over me in height and supposed authority, reduced to a furious, sleep-deprived mess by a tiny 18-year-old girl. Who'd win the no-sleep battle? Me, hands down. I had youth, fury, and nothing to lose. I repeated this ritual, ding, hide, wait, until dawn crept in, the sky outside turning pink. My legs ached from crouching, eyes burned from lack of sleep, but satisfaction coursed through me like caffeine. This was justice, petty and perfect. Morning came too soon. We were supposed to meet in the lobby at 9 a.m. for the next day's tour. I dragged myself down, adrenaline fading into a bone-deep tiredness, but my resolve steel hard. The group milled about, chit-chat, coffee cups in hand. Then Eduardo appeared. Oh, the sight. He looked like he'd aged a decade overnight. Bags under his eyes like bruises, shoulders slumped, that smirk wiped clean off his face. He shuffled in, avoiding eye contact, voice hoarse as he called roll. I couldn't hold back. As he passed us, I stepped forward, tiny frame against his tall one. What happened last night? I demanded, voice steady despite the quiver in my knees. The lobby hushed. He blinked, feigning confusion. What do you mean? You didn't show up at the club? Liar. My blood boiled anew. The audacity. He tried to play me for a fool, gaslighting like it was nothing. We got dropped at the wrong place, I shot back. You had our tickets. You didn't wait. He waved it off. Misunderstanding. Taxi driver's fault. That was it. The breaking point. Fury exploded, not just for the night, but for Carla, for the prejudice, for every underestimation we'd faced as young Brazilian girls. I spotted a chair nearby, climbed onto it in a flash. Now eye level with him, I jabbed a finger at his face. You abandoned us. On purpose. Because of her. I nodded at Carla, who... The hotel staff froze. A receptionist wide-eyed, a cleaning lady pausing her mop. My friends stared, mouths agape. Eduardo's face twisted, surprise, then rage. "Get down, niña loca," he snarled, reaching to shove me, but I wasn't done. "And also," I smirked, voice dripping with sarcasm, "did you sleep well tonight?" I mimed dialing a phone, hanging up with a then pretended to ring a doorbell with the most cynical smile I could muster. His eyes widened in realization. It was me. All night. He lunged, hands outstretched, face purple with fury. "You little..." Chaos erupted. The cleaning lady, bless her, grabbed his torso from behind. "Senor, no!" More staff rushed in, a bellhop, the manager, piling on to hold him back. He thrashed, shouting curses, veins bulging in his neck. I hopped off the chair, dodging his grasp, heart pounding but triumphant. The group watched in stunned silence, others pulling out cameras, old school ones. Eduardo roared, trying to break free, but now 5 people restrained him, a human wall between us. In that moment, everything clicked. His shock, eyes bulging as the puzzle pieces fell into place. His anger, sputtering incoherently, face contorted in humiliation. And his defeat, as the hotel manager declared, "You're out! Expelled from the premises!" Security hauled him away, still ranting. The group sided with us. Some even applauded quietly. Eduardo grabbed his things, but not before shooting me a glare that could melt steel. "You'll regret this," he hissed. But I didn't. Relief flooded me, a warm wave washing away the night's tension. Triumph surged, validation that I wasn't powerless. We'd won. He was gone, fired from the tour presumably, and we got our plane tickets from another group member. Never saw him again. How does it feel to be outsmarted by an 18-year-old? Pretty damn humiliating, I'd bet. Looking back, that night taught me about karma, how standing up for what's right, even in petty ways, can tip the scales. Justice isn't always grand. Sometimes it's a doorbell at dawn. If life's thrown you injustice, remember, your voice, your actions, they matter. What goes around, comes around. If this story fired you up or gave you those satisfying chills, smash that like button right now. It helps spread these tales. Drop in the comments, what's the most epic revenge you've pulled or seen? Did it feel as good as this? And don't forget to subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories that'll keep you hooked. Thanks for watching. See you next time.